What's up everyone, welcome to today's video, welcome to the channel, thank you very much for tuning in. So today I wanted to talk about some pertinent issues surrounding the new Star Wars Jedi game, and this is actually, in my opinion, what I feel a lot of fans had been craving for a long time, and that's basically single player experiences, things that are free and rid of microtransactions, things that had some depth, quality, story, gameplay mechanics, and all of the above being built into the game from ground up. Now, the very first thing about Jedi Fallen Order that I feel everybody needs to know is the fact that the developers of this game are actually real gamers. Now, let me make that very clear. These are people that, in my opinion, understand video games, and they're not necessarily held back in how much they share about their understanding of video games. Now, let's make sure that I also am somewhat, clearer by saying this doesn't mean that other developers who do not share about their knowledge of video games are not good at it. It just is, in today's modern day and age with different media for people to share ideas, developers that go out of their way to share their ideas, their thoughts, and their own expertise in different areas seem to be able to garner a lot more credibility. And that's just it. It doesn't mean that other people are not as good or better. It just means the credibility is there. And you may wonder where this is coming from. Well, let's look back at Jedi Fallen Order, which was the first of the series, and we're going to look at the team that worked on this game. Already the game has been delivered. You can go check it out for yourself. The game is usually on sale from time to time, and we got to see how much the developers were very committed and dedicated to developing this game. In fact, if you watch some of the documentaries and read some of the articles surrounding this game, you'll find out that most of the devs, while they were building Jedi Fallen Order, were at the same time working on Apex Legends. It's crazy. In fact, more specifically, one of the chief animators within the studio at the time, he's on record saying that I used to work on Apex Legends during the day, and then at night I'll work on all of my animations and my projects for Jedi Fallen Order. I thought, to me, that's one huge dedication. Another side too is the Jedi combat team. You see, within Jedi Fallen Order, a story and a narrative and all of that were very central to the game, and mixing and blending all of these different aspects is usually quite challenging. But in this particular game, I think the team was on the money. Everyone had their strengths and everyone was able to showcase their strengths. The environmental designers, the artists, the combat designers, the narrative team, in fact, was actually very well involved in not only writing a lot of the plot lines, but also in directing the voice acting and the motion capture of this entire game. In fact, I thought it was quite cool the way they had everything set up. But most importantly on my mind is how the gameplay mechanics will feel for many people. Jedi Fallen Order seems to position itself as a soft Souls game. And when I say soft, I'm referring to a game that is Souls-like, but does have elements that makes it very much more accessible to a broader audience, in the sense that anybody can hop in, play, and enjoy the game as long as they're just wanting a casual experience. And then if they want a much more in-depth and hardcore experience, they can move the difficulty to that position. And the developers went ahead to develop the game like that. It's a game that's a Star Wars game, and Disney owns the IP, and all of the different requirements probably would deter a Dark Souls-esque like IP that's full-on Elden Ring style or Dark Souls 2-3 style or whatever it is, if you get what I mean. And in this particular aspect, you think about the way the development of the combat went, I think that's really what showcased to me that the developers were very serious about their own particular art when it came to developing a video game that is representative of what a Jedi will look like in combat scenarios. So you have a lightsaber on this particular character, Cal Kestis, and maybe whoever is another character using or wielding a lightsaber, and that Jedi can basically slash and hit objects or even other enemy types. And in that sense, you really want for your combat to be representative of what a lightsaber can do. A lightsaber is supposedly a very powerful weapon, one that if you get hit with it, it depends on where it hits you, but you don't have too many chances afterwards. I mean, I know this is a fictional sense, but think about it. If something that is beaming millions and millions of photons of laser, if it touches you, you should expect some level of internal or external injury that could in many cases be life-threatening or at least serious. And so the developers ensured that they developed their game and their combat system to reflect this. Not only that, while the game was in development, they were able to work with some of the consultants from Lucasfilms. Now, this is very important because one thing about the Star Wars games is canon is very important. For those of you who've seen the other Star Wars projects that did not necessarily seem to honor the canon, I'm talking to you, Rise of Skywalker and your friends, it was quite important that the story and a lot of things within the game followed canon as close as possible. Now, this does not take away the creative freedom of the team. Obviously, they were able to do their game, showcase their story, and deliver the best possible work that was within their creative capabilities, but they did not go off the rails, which is a very, very huge risk that we're seeing in today's development and even publication of new entertainment media. So in my opinion, I think this is something that as the community of Star Wars video games fans are looking towards this game, they can expect to see those same trademarks follow through. Now, this is if the development, the storytelling, and all the people involved follow the baseline of the strategies that they used in developing the first game, while adding to it, while maybe making improvements in areas or broadening scopes that they felt could have provided a little bit more depth within the game. I think all of this is speaking and resonating to a game that's going to be reflective of what gamers have always wanted and how the developers respect and treat gamers at Respawn. So this is just a short tidbit from some of the information that we know surrounds the studio developing this game. Very soon I'll try to take my time to go over some history so that you guys can see some of these things being fleshed out, and maybe that might give you a little bit more of an outlook or a perspective as to what to expect with this new Jedi game that's been announced. So thank you very much for listening to the video. I really appreciate you guys' time and audience. Feel free to hang around on the channel or tap in however you wish to. You can leave comments, or you can basically respond to comments on different questions that may arise. And thank you very much for your time and audience. I appreciate you guys so much, and hopefully we'll talk very soon. Peace out.